Hello guys, this is Vishal and welcome to my channel Ticket to Canada. As we all know that if we are going through express entry route to immigrate to Canada, IELTS is something which we can't bypass. And the biggest hurdle in IELTS is writing for most of the people. They do get stuck at 6 or 6.5 band. So just to make writing super easy for you, I've made this video. So without wasting any time, let's jump to the question. Today I'll be discussing an agree and disagree essay. So our question prompt is: the recent popularity of online shopping will result in the end of high street shops. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So now in this type of question, most of the people what they do is they just read it once. They feel like that it's a super easy question. You just need to discuss either about online shopping or say high street shop. But what they don't fixate on is that they do get confused high street shop with a normal shop, and they write the whole essay on a normal local shop or say a normal general shop. But in this question, they are specifically asking for high street shops. So in this essay, I kind of fixated to that only. So let's move on to our introduction. As we all know that we just supposed to paraphrase our question. So that's what exactly I do with my opinion. Like let's read out our introduction. It is an undeniable fact that online products have taken over a major share of market. So now here you can see that I've written a general statement related to the topic. It's completely up to your discretion whether you want to use this general statement or not. It's completely fine if you just paraphrase the question, like in the second line. It is often believed that this positive acceptance of online purchase will make the main street shops redundant. I did nothing but just paraphrase the question. If you go just back, the recent popularity of online shopping will result in the end of high street shops. And what I did, it is often believed that this positive acceptance, I have written this here only because I have used a general statement before related to the market share or something like that. That's why I have written this. If you are not comfortable with writing a general statement, you can just write that it is often believed that online purchase will make the main street shop redundant. That's completely fine. Now let's move to the next slide. Here I have started giving my opinion that I believe that even though shopping through the internet is highly preferred by many, it does not pose any potential threat to the prominent street shops. Now here you can see that instead of just writing shops or local shops, I have written prominent, which is really very important, because if you are just writing shop, you kind of deviating from the topic, and there might be a possibility that you lose a band in your task achievement. And now in this line you can see that I have clearly stated, means just by reading this line, that reader is really very certain and clear that I'll be supporting the point where means that online products or online shopping does not pose any threat to the prominent street shops. So now let's move on to the main body paragraph 1. To embark on, internet shopping gained popularity because it has a plethora of options to select from. Now here it's a clear topic sentence of mine that why it's popular, because there is a plethora of options to select from. Internet shopping gains popularity because it has plethora of options to select from. It's really very important that you must be having a topic sentence in your body paragraphs, because that's the sentence through which your whole essay roams around, you can say, or the reasoning which you will be putting behind. So now let's move on to the reasoning part. As we all know that we are supposed to have a topic sentence in a main body paragraph, and then we are supposed to put reasoning behind that topic. So here my reasoning is that consumer can find a product as per their requirement, like price range, brand, and choice of colors. Now you see what I did here is that I did supported my topic sentence, but in addition to supporting, what I did, I kind of used examples also. It's not necessary that you should write in for example, then only you should give an example. I've supported this reasoning also with an example, that consumer can find a product as per their requirement. Like, this is very important, like price range, brands, and choice of colors. you can write any other thing if you feel like. Means the important thing over here is that you are supporting your idea with example. And what I did additionally to support my point, to support not my point, but the in this if you see the question prompt, the first thing is that the recent popularity of online shopping will result in the end of high street shops. So we need to cover this point as well. So here, how I proved it is that online shopping do provide plethora of options to select from, unlike shops where there is a limited number of products to choose from. So here what I did is that I explained it that why customers are deviating towards online shopping, what's that thing which they are not getting in the street shops. So that's why means it's kind of additionally supporting my reasoning. Now let's move on to the next sentence. This can be exemplified by a website named Amazon. Now here I am clearly stating another example. So means just by reading this line, the reader is really very clear that yeah, now example is coming up. So now let's read it out again. This can be exemplified by a website named Amazon, which cater most of the product for household and with different choice of brands. Again, I've supported my topic sentence. Now comes the point where you need to sum up your whole main body paragraph. Trust me, this is the most important line which most of the people who are attempting IELTS ignore or just miss it. But never ever miss this line. This is really very important because this kind of gives the gist of the whole main body paragraph which you already spoke of. So this, just read out this line. This capability of offering various options make online shopping a popular trend. What I did is that I kind of give the reasoning or sum up the question prompt that why it's a popular trend, why online shopping will result in high street end of high street shops. This is the reason that these capability which I have explained earlier. That's right. So this line completely sum up my whole paragraph. Now let's move on to main body paragraph 2. Now what I did is that I connected my second main body paragraph with main body paragraph 1. Like that despite the benefit of online purchase mentioned above, I believe that it does not have any serious danger to big showrooms. Now here comes the point where I am putting my opinion, the thing which I believe. I am kind of complementing to the introduction which I have written, where I already mentioned that I am going to support this point, that it does not pose any threat to the high street shops or the prominent street shops. So now you might be amused over here that I don't have any topic sentence, but it's not like that. Although it's not a direct topic sentence, but if you see this line, I believe it does not have any serious danger to big showrooms. So this line itself clearly states that the next line which is going to come up will be related, which will be supporting the big showrooms or giving the reasoning for why it does not have, they are not in danger. So the first reasoning will be that first of all, here clearly you can say it's a cohesion, that first of all I've used over here. That first of all, many people like to touch and feel the product while making any purchase, which is only possible if a purchase is made through these type of shops. Now here I have used the word these type of shops, which is referring to showrooms here. So this is really very good cohesion which you must be using. It's kind of, you can say it's a paraphrasing. So the reasoning is crystal clear. And I have again additionally supported it by relating it to the online shop. Now here I have mentioned that whereas this option is not available in shopping via the internet, so it's additionally supporting my point. Now the second reasoning is that additionally for products like television and air conditioners, delivery as well as after sales services are very important. These two advantages lure many end customers to resort to big shops for their purchase rather than shopping online. Now here I have clearly closed my, very beautifully I have closed my main body paragraph 1, which sum up whatever I have said in the above mentioned line. And one thing which you might have not observed in this main body paragraph is that I filtered it out. You can see that you must use a filter approach. Sorry for the bad diagram, but you must be using this funnel approach, you can say, where you start with a broad topic and filter it out to being very specific. Now see here, I have started with a broad topic. That means I'll do one thing, that just to be clear, on to make you clear, I will mention one point over here, that I believe it like this. I believe it does not have any serious danger to big showrooms, and you can mention over here like because of various reasons. You can write here in this part that because of various reasons, then you can start. It will be much clearer. That first of all, now see, I've mentioned that I believe that it does not have any serious danger to big showroom because of various reasons. First of all, many people like to touch and feel the product while making any purchase, which is only possible if a purchase is made through these type of shops, whereas this option is not available on shopping via the internet. Now in the second this reasoning, if you see what I did, I filtered it out. See, additionally, for products like television and air conditioners, what I did, I filtered down to specific products and fixated it to delivery as well as sales, after sales services, which is really very important. Now what you see, that I filtered it out to being specific to certain products and to the delivery services and sales services, so which is very prompt in these type of shops. So this is what an IELTS examiner is looking for, that you start with a broad topic and filter it out to being very specific, and that's what I exactly did over here. And now let's move on to a conclusion. Now in conclusion, it's again the same. You just need to summarize your main body paragraph 1 and 2 in a brief. I know certain people on YouTube say that you just paraphrase your introduction, but that's the trick which I never recommend to anyone, or that's the thing which I highly against, because just paraphrasing your question doesn't suffice the requirement of the IELTS examiner. What you're supposed to do is you need to summarize your main body paragraph 1 and main body paragraph 2, and pick your side as well in the conclusion. It's really very important. If it's an agree disagree essay, or if it's an discuss both views and give your opinion essay, it's really very necessary that you should be having your opinion in a conclusion as well. So let's see our conclusion. To conclude, internet shopping gives people ample of options to choose from, which result in its increased popularity. That's what we've discussed in our main body paragraph 1. I just summarized it. Yet, I uphold the view. I'm clearly stating that this is not something I'm supporting. No, I'm not supporting this thing. It's no. I'm supporting from here. I'm holding my view. This is one more thing which an examiner is looking for. Your clear view. You should be holding a view clearly throughout your essay. So yet I uphold the view that it cannot eradicate the existence of big shops, which not only give the opportunity to physically examine the product, but also provide quick home delivery as well as after purchase services. So you can see here that I've clearly stated in the conclusion as well that it does not pose any threat to prominent street shops. And that's exactly what an IELTS examiner is looking for, that you clearly summarize both the main body paragraph 1 and main body paragraph 2 in your conclusion and hold your view as well. Now what I did is that I put my opinion over here. If you're not comfortable in putting this type of thing, sentences like I uphold the view, you can easily write in my opinion or in my view. That's completely fine. Although it feels to you like it's a very repetitive thing, or most of the IELTS aspirants are using these type of words, but it's completely fine. They are not looking for some fancy words. In IELTS examiner are not up for fancy words. They are more towards being a native speaker or be a natural speaker, may be a natural writer. You are not supposed to use a lot of fancy words, although they do look for certain fancy words. Means you're supposed to use certain good vocabulary, and that's one thing which an examiner look for. So that's with the agree and disagree essay. I think that I might have helped you with this essay or this video. I'll be coming up with more videos with other essay topics and with different types of essays like opinion essay, double question essay. And I am sorry, I forgot to tell you one thing, that nowadays kind of IELTS pattern have changed. It's not exactly changed, but they kind of started using different type of questions. Rather than just asking for your views or whether agree or disagree, they come up with different type of statements to ask for your opinion. I'll be sharing those type of questions in my upcoming videos. Till that time, just keep practicing. Practice, because practice makes the man perfect, and IELTS writing is something which requires a lot of practice. So till that time, all the best, and hope this video is of any help to you. Goodbye.